Has the thought of death ever crept into your mind when you least expected it? Perhaps late at night, lying in the dark with your eyes closed, or while waiting for the results of a health checkup, or the moment you notice that your parents' shoulders look just a little smaller than you remembered. In that instant, a quiet weight settles over your chest. Someday I too will die. And before you can sit with that feeling, you push it away. You put a lid on it. It's too frightening. It's too far away, not yet. But here's something worth considering. This habit of looking away may be the very thing blurring our sense of what it means to be alive. Today I'd like to talk about death, not to frighten you, quite the opposite. Because when we turn and face it directly, something remarkable happens. The ordinary day in front of us begins to glow with a color we hadn't noticed before. Please, take your time and stay with me until the end. About 2,500 years ago, an elderly man came to seek the Buddha. His name has not been passed down to us, but he had once been a prosperous merchant, a man with a spacious home, many servants, and a life of comfort and ease. But as the years went on, his body began to ache. His wife passed away before him. His children grew up and moved to distant towns, and one by one, the things that had filled his life quietly slipped away. Now he sat alone in that wide, empty house. Then one night, lying in his bed, a thought came to him without warning. When will I die? From that moment on, he could no longer sleep. Food lost its taste. The flowers in his garden lost their beauty. No matter what he did, a shadow followed close behind. The cold question of when it would all end. Driven by despair, the old man made a long journey to find the Buddha. Kneeling before the Buddha, the old man spoke in a trembling voice. I am afraid of death. Every night I fear that if I close my eyes, I will never open them again. Each morning that arrives, I feel only that one more day has been taken from me. Please, please, free me from this fear. The Buddha listened in silence. Then gently he asked, What did you eat this morning? The old man blinked, caught off guard. I had a little rice porridge. Was it good? I couldn't tell. I had no sense of taste. The Buddha nodded slowly. And on your way here, did anything catch your eye? A flower, perhaps? A bird? The color of the sky? The old man shook his head. Nothing. My mind was entirely on death. A look of quiet sadness crossed the Buddha's face. And then he said, You are still alive, and yet you are already as one who has died. The old man went still. The Buddha continued, It is natural to fear death, but if that fear has stolen every moment of living from you, then you have already surrendered your life. Death will come, not only for you, for me, for every soul gathered here. This is certain. But it is precisely because of this that the warmth of morning porridge, the color of a flower by the road, the smell of the wind, each of these can be tasted fully as the gift it truly is. It is because of death that life shines. Tears fell quietly from the old man's eyes. The Buddha offered one final word. Live each day as though you are greeting the morning for the very first time. And when you lie down to sleep each night, say thank you to the day that has passed. That is what it means to face death. From that day on, the old man is said to have changed. His fear did not vanish entirely. Perhaps it never does. But he began to eat his morning porridge slowly, savoring each spoonful. He started watering the flowers in his garden again. He wrote short letters to his children living far away. He had found his way back. The teaching woven into this story runs very deep. At the heart of Buddhist wisdom lies a truth the Buddha returned to again and again. All things change. Nothing lasts forever. This is the teaching of impermanence. Flowers bloom and fall. Seasons turn. We are born, we age, we grow ill, and in time we die. When we first hear this, it can feel like a door closing, like a quiet sadness settling over everything. If nothing lasts, what is the point of trying, some might wonder. But that is not at all what the Buddha meant. Because things change, each moment holds a light that belongs only to right now. If cherry blossoms bloomed all year long, would we ever stop to gaze at them in wonder? It is their brevity that makes them beautiful. It is the ending that makes something precious. Death is no different. The fact that death exists means simply that right now, you are alive. Your heart is beating, you are breathing. Somewhere nearby, a voice you recognize can be heard. None of this is ordinary. The Buddha also offered this. Remember death. Not fear death, not dread it, simply do not forget it. In our daily lives, we tend to keep death at a comfortable distance. We assume tomorrow will come. We make plans for next year and dream of a decade from now. There is nothing wrong with that in itself. But when we hold the quiet awareness just at the edge of our thoughts, that one day this will end, the texture of a single day begins to shift. Maybe today I'll offer a kind word to someone who usually gets on my nerves. Maybe today is the day I finally say the thank you I've been holding back for far too long. Maybe today I'll begin the thing I've been putting off. This is not a dark practice. It is an act of turning the light toward today. The Buddha did not ask us to see death as an enemy, but as a quiet teacher walking beside us. Your time is not endless. Death whispers each day. Let's bring this into the world we actually live in. Modern life is relentless. Work, housework, raising children, caring for aging parents. The days blur from morning to night, and before we know it, another one is gone. In the middle of all this, it's easy to feel less like someone who is truly living and more like someone simply getting through. When that feeling comes, I'd like to invite you to pause just for a moment and ask yourself, if today were my last day, what would I do? It might sound dramatic, but this question holds a quiet power. If today were truly your last, you probably wouldn't spend hours scrolling through your phone. You wouldn't waste the evening rehearsing frustrations from the office. Instead, you'd want to see the face of someone you love. You'd want to eat something slowly and really taste it. You'd want to step outside, look up at the sky, and take a long, deep breath. I'd like to share one simple practice you can begin tonight. Before you go to sleep, take just a moment to recall 3 small good things from your day. The coffee tasted especially good this morning. A colleague said, "Good work today." On the way home, the evening sky was extraordinary. Small things, they don't need to be significant. And then quietly say this to yourself, "I lived today. Thank you." That's all. It takes less than a minute, but something gently shifts if you keep at it. Instead of waking up to another day starting, you begin to wake up thinking, "I'm here again. How fortunate." That shift may seem small. It is, in fact, enormous. Facing death doesn't mean spending every day in dread of when the end will come. It means waking up to the simple truth. Today is not something we are owed. Doctors and nurses who care for people in their final days often speak of something they've noticed. Again and again they say, those who are nearing the end don't talk about status or money or accomplishments. They talk about small things. My grandchild's laugh, the miso soup my wife used to make, that path I loved to walk when the cherry blossoms came out. In the end, what remains is warmth, the quiet, everyday kind. So, wouldn't it be something to become the kind of person who notices that warmth while it is still here? Having a meal with a parent while they are still well enough to share it. Telling your partner, "Thank you for everything." Setting down your phone and actually listening when your child speaks. All of this is possible today, not tomorrow, today. This is exactly what the Buddha offered that old man all those centuries ago. Not freedom from the knowledge of death, but the wisdom to let that knowledge lead us back to life. To live each day carefully, attentively, with our whole heart. That, I believe, is what it truly means to face death. Before we part, I'd like to leave you with just one thought. Death is not an ending, it is a light, one that illuminates the day we are standing in right now. The fact that you are here today, that you have stayed and listened this far, that in itself is something quietly extraordinary. We cannot know what tomorrow holds, or next year, or a decade from now, but today, this day is here, real, yours. So today, try savoring your meal just a little more slowly than usual. Offer one gentle word to someone you care about, and tonight, before you close your eyes, whisper it softly to yourself. I lived today, thank you. Just that, and your today will be different from your yesterday. Thank you so very much for spending this time with me. May your day be quiet and warm and filled with small moments worth noticing. Pause. Until next time.